Well, we are so excited. We've got the very first U.S. Christian Chamber Expo that's happening October 26th through the 28th. It's the inaugural U.S. Central Florida Christian Chamber of Commerce Business Expo. And we've got just an amazing lineup of faith-based speakers, workshops, uh, missions to really build kingdom, business, and community. And we hope that you will come out physically, be present. You can find out more at the website. But for now, we're going to bring in one of those faith-based speakers, David Prosper. David, we're glad that you're here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
You are just a great guy to speak with. We could spend all afternoon talking, but just to jump in, your session for the expo that's happening in October is called How to Nurture Your Innovative Brain. First of all, what's an innovative brain?
It is using the right side of our brain to create. Oftentimes we use our logic side, so our left hemisphere, and we build things based off logic. But the
Mhm.
greatest things that are built and innovated and created and revolutionized is often when we use our creative side, and which is our right side.
It's nice to have a team with that balance because I think I'm kind of a right brain person and I go, okay, here's my big idea now. Go make it happen. So I'm tossing these big ideas. How do you begin to work with somebody that has an innovative brain that's really strong in that area?
Yeah, it's the balance of both, like you said. It's honoring our giftings. Oftentimes we see what we're not strong at, and then we expect others to be that. And just like Yeshua said, I mean Paul said, we have many bodies, many members of the body. So if somebody like yourself is super right side of the brain, and somebody like myself is on the left side of the brain, it's finding a way of understanding in order to leverage versus trying to get that person to see how we see it.
So wait a minute. I caught something. You are left brained, but you're speaking on how to nurture the innovative brain, which is right brain.
Yeah, because we can all learn it, right? We have the beauty of the neuroplasticity. That means we can learn something that we're not competent in. And as we build
Hmm.
our competence, then we get confidence. So we all can learn. It's just the willingness to actually apply it.
I love that. It'd be easy to speak on something that you are, but you've chosen to take a topic and go, I made a decision to learn how to work this part of my brain and I can even speak to it.
Yeah.
David, the one thing I know about you is that you're very passionate. You like to teach about practical things, about innovation. Just kind of dig in about how you're able to empower students because that's kind of the focus is youth, millennial, the younger folk.
Yeah. I would say the biggest practicality, right? Because oftentimes as educators, we talk in theories. We're just like, oh, the theory of this, the theory of this. But what actually facilitates change is implementation and execution. So in the journey of life, my biggest encouragement to my learners and my students is, and to the millennials out there is being attached to the process versus the outcome. And when we're attached
Mm.
to the process versus the outcome, then we embrace adversity and challenges as lessons versus we reject it. And then we minimize our level of expectation, and we increase our appreciation. So the learner's journey is the biggest applicable thing that we can apply in different sectors. But if you're talking practicality, it's being a empty cup in every
Mm.
conversation and willing to be filled up. And then when we're filled up and overflowing, then we can pour into others.
I love that you're talking about enjoying the journey because if it's all about the goal and you fall short, you've missed the fun. It's kind of like looking forward to a trip. It's over. And there's such a joy in the encountering of everything that you're going through. I
Yeah.
know that a lot of what you teach on is very biblical. What does the Bible say about how to innovate?
Well, Yeshua was like the greatest of all time, right? So we look at like Jeremiah 31, and he was like, I'm going to move the tablets from like stones to the stones of to the tablets of their heart. So the
Mm.
Father was essentially not changing the Ten Commandments, not changing his Torah, not changing his word. He's just transitioning his word and giving us the spirit that allows us to actually fulfill it. So Yeshua was powerful, and like he used examples of real life stuff to do his teaching versus teaching in a way that it separated people. Like, so the Father, Yeshua, they constantly innovated on how they connected before they directed. And if we look
Mm.
at the prophets in the back in the days, they're just like, oh, you turn from your wicked ways and do these things. And it didn't necessarily like you connect with people, even though it was directing. So it's just like, how can we innovate? The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, how can we innovate? And it was just connecting. So like bringing Yeshua down to have a relationship with the people and then direct the people to the Father. So it's all throughout Scripture of innovation.
And teaching these young people to be great leaders that helps their family and community.
Yes,
You're just a huge believer in growing as leaders, aren't you?
I believe the thing that separates leaders from followers is those who set a new standard and those who are by standards. And if we elevate the standard of living, then most will see the change that we all want to see. So
Mm.
leadership is everything.
I love it. David, tell us how we can get a hold of you and share just a little bit about what you do and you know what you're TEDx talks. I mean, you're a great speaker.
Thank you. Kind words. So my background, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm an educator. So what that entails, I'm a journalist, so I write, and I write magazine. I write for the newspaper, as well as I run a school, a K through 8 school right now. And I'm a speaker, I'm a consultant, and I'm a coach. As far as finding and getting connected with me, Facebook is where I live right now. So
Okay.
David Benjamin Will Prosper at Facebook. And then that'll be the gateway to connect with me on different platforms. But Facebook is where I live, and that's where I'm active and where I'm engaging with the people that I'm connected with.
Awesome. Well, come on out. See David's seminar. He's going to be speaking the inaugural U.S. and Central Florida Christian Chamber of Commerce Business Expo, October 26th through the 28th. David, you're going to do amazing. The room is going to be packed. Thanks for giving us just a teeny little bit of insight of what you're going to be speaking on.
Thank you so much for having me.